Righto. How you going there? Just going to run you through the plumbing system. It's a bit different to your average camper van. The first one you'll notice here is that these lines are your tank suction lines, all running into a valve station here that's 3 solenoid valves. Each one can switch on or off one of the tanks individually. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and runs along through your strainer there and into your pump. That's your suction from your tanks. Now the beauty of this is no grovellings. The solenoids are all wired back to a control panel, and when you run out of water in one tank and you need to switch tanks, you just flip a couple of switches. Turn one off and the next one on. Little brainstorm I had. There's your pump. Underneath the hot water system here, Truma, gas electric. It's actually 240 electric or gas. And we have a triple filter set up, not something that I'm into, but whatever turns you on. And your gas connection to your hot water system. Over this side, we have our mains pressure water point, which incorporates the fill point for the 3 tanks. Now, as you can see down here, there's a T-piece that comes from your fill point, which is a mains pressure fill point. It also tees off to be the mains pressure supply for the caravan when you're hooked up in a caravan park, which is linked into the pump line here. Now, the important thing with the pump is that you have a non-return valve, which prevents water flowing back through the pump and into your tanks. And it kind of protects your pumps and the sensors in the pump from overpressure situations, even though it's reduced from what can be as high as 800 kPa in mains pressures down to 350, which is what is recommended for the hot water system. So here we've got the connection, or the T-piece and valve for the hot water system, with another pressure reduction valve, which I think I probably don't need. And we run round in a little 180. You've got your pressure relief here for when you want to drain the system. There's a drain pipe that runs through the floor on this valve. So you just flip it up and she'll drain the hot water tank if you need to. We've got 2 reliefs here, one relief off the hot and another relief off your temperature pressure relief, which all hot water systems have to have. Now, back to the fill points. The other side of the T-piece here is this. And this drinking water grade hose runs into a T-piece and a header here, a valve header with 3 valves on it. These are the fill points for the tanks. Tank 1, kitchen, and the 2 tanks behind the axle, passenger side and driver's side. To fill your tanks, you just hook up your mains pressure setup, and once you're hooked up, you can fill the tanks individually or all 3 at once if you want. And as the tanks reach the top of the tank, the fill, they're full. You get a bit of water squirt out the breather, which will squirt out underneath the bus, and that's your signal for turn the valve off because the tank's full. I've seen a few gravity-fed tank filling systems, and if you don't run them right, you end up with airlocks all over the place, and it can be impossible sometimes to fill your tanks because of the airlocks. This way you're filling them under pressure. You can't damage the tanks because the tanks have breathers on them, so the tank's never going to be affected by any sort of mains pressure. The most important part about your breathers is that you put a bug screen over the end of the breather so that you don't get hornets and stuff building their muddy nests in the end of the breather. If that happens, you might have some problems. Other than that, almost the entire plumbing system is all tucked into the back corner of the bus. And in the end, I'll box in anything that can be damaged so it's out of the way when you're throwing your stuff in and out of the back of the bus. On the other side, we've got the gas box. The gas has been hooked up all the way through to the hot water system, and once we get the kitchen cabinets in, we can run the plumbing and the gas through to the kitchen and to the shower. The shower, of course, is going to be over here, but that'll be another video.